Good morning, young friends. Today I am going to take a lesson from class 7 science, unit 1, food, and the name of the chapter is nutrition in plant. Chapter 1, nutrition in plants. So, nutrition is important for living organism. Nutrition is important in plants as well as nutrition is important in animals also. All living things take foods from outside to get nourishment or energy. Food provides energy and helps them to grow. Each food helps living beings to work properly. A balanced diet provides all the energy and essential nutrition that you need to stay healthy. Diet needs to be balanced of protein, carbohydrate, fat, vitamins, minerals, fiber and water. Now, this terminology you have got in your earlier classes, but I want to recall one again. So, you got carbohydrate. One term you got carbohydrate. Another is protein. Next is fats or lipid. Next to it, vitamins, minerals, water. So, carbohydrate type of food means sugar containing food. The food which has a sweet taste or the food which contains sugar is called carbohydrate. For example, glucose is a carbohydrate. Glucose, fructose, galactose, all these are the simple elements of carbohydrates. So, for example, rice, wheat, bread, all this has a sweet taste and these are the food which belongs to carbohydrate groups. Now proteins means this is called energy giving food also. Energy giving food. Next to it, protein. Protein means it is called bodybuilding food. Body building food. For example, meat, chicken, egg, etc. These kinds of food helps in the formation of muscles and strengthen the muscles. So this kinds of food is called bodybuilding food, and the bodybuilding food are nothing but protein, fats. These are oil. This is also energy giving food. This is also energy giving food. As for example, mustard oil, all edible oils, ghee, butter, etc. are belong to these groups. Vitamins, There are many kinds of vitamin A, B12, B5, B6, C, D, E, K. All these vitamins has different functions in the body. They helps in the growth and development of the body, as well as they help in the formation of bone and teeth, and also helps in reproduction. Minerals: iron, zinc, calcium, magnesium, sodium, potassium. All these are the minerals needed for the nutrition of the body. Water. Nearly 70% of water should remain in the body plasma. So sufficient amount of intake of water per day is important for proper nutrition. In the next line, it is written that balanced diet. In a new term, you got balanced diet. Diet means food that we take at different time, in the morning, breakfast, in the midday, lunch, in the evening, tea and shifts, in the night we take supper. All these are food, all these are diet. So what does balanced diet means? A balanced diet is a food stuff which contains carbohydrate, protein, fats and lipid, vitamins, minerals, water, etc. in a proportionate manner. All these materials, when in a definite proportion present in a food stuff, it is called balanced diet. That means in the food, carbohydrate should be there, protein, fat, vitamin, minerals, water, all should be there in a required amount. If we intake more protein, less minerals and water, then we may find problem in the digestion, or it will lead to malgrowth, or it will be said to be as malnutrition. So here it is written very nicely in your book, a balanced diet is one that gives us all the required nutrients in correct proportion and provides adequate energy as well as roughage. Roughage means which we excrete out in the formation in the form of stool. Okay. A balanced diet is important for a person's general physical and mental health. A balanced diet is very much important for a balanced life. It improves the general health of the human beings or the living things, physical as well as mental health. It maintains all this health. Physical health, mental health, general health. So balanced diet is important. So don't be obstinate when your father do not give you the chips or the cold drinks or the chocolate. Don't be obstinate. Use according to the advice of doctors or your parents. So what your mommy is prepared for you, it is better than any fast food. So don't go for always restaurant making food or fast food. You go for the balanced diet which provides by your mother. Now green plants make their own food with the help of photosynthesis. So photosynthesis is the process by which all green plants prepare their food, glucose. Later, I think in your book, it is discussed in details, and I will be explaining you later. Now, what is given in the next heading I want to see. Nutrition. The next heading is nutrition. Nutrition is the sum of all these activities which are concerned with ingestion, digestion, absorption of digested food into the blood or lymph, oxidation of simple food to produce energy for growth, repair, synthesis of biomolecules, and egestion. Now you have got some new terminology. The first one is ingestion. Next one is digestion. Then absorption. Then oxidation, repair, synthesis of biomolecules, and egestion. Now I want to give you a brief description about the terminology. Human digestive system. It is a rough structure of human digestive system. Here it is the mouth. This is the nasal pore. This is the food tube, mouth. This is the food tube, esophagus it is called. Food tube. This is liver. This is stomach. This is stomach. This is pancreas. This is gallbladder. Small intestine. Large intestine. Intestine and the anus. This is the digestive system of human being. So when you take food from your mouth, this is called ingestion. That means taking in food. Ingestion means taking in food is called ingestion. Number 2, in the mouth, with the help of teeth and saliva, you chew the food, crush the food, grind the food, and mix thoroughly with the help of tongue, with the saliva, and that gel-like substance, semi-digested food, passes to the stomach. Inside the stomach, in the stomach wall, the hydrochloric acid is released and the food is made acidic. Then this is liver. Liver plays an important role in digestion. Pancreas also secretes some juices. Pancreas secretes pancreatic juice. Pancreatic juice. It makes the semi-digested food alkaline, which was acidic in stomach, and then breaks down the protein part and sent to the small intestine. In the small intestine, the food is properly digested, and the wall of the intestine has some villi, finger-like projection on the both sides of the wall, and there some minute or fine blood vessels are there, and that blood vessels absorb the food and sent to the main streams of the blood. The blood carries the digested food. The blood carries the digested food, and the food reaches the different parts of the body and enters into the cell. Inside the cell, with the help of oxygen, the food is burnt. Food is burnt. B-U-R-N-T, burnt. So, burning of food inside the cell is called oxidation. As a result, carbon dioxide is released and ATP is produced, adenosine triphosphate. That means the energy. ATP means energy. This energy helps living being to get strength to do different activities. Now, if there is any wounds or damaged cells, or there is any cut, new cells is important to be born and repair the wound parts. So this energy is utilized by the body to repair the damaged or worn area. Synthesis means formation of biomolecules. Different biomolecules are formed, synthesized with the help of energy. Now, the undigested food is moved to the large intestine, and there it is deposited, and time to time it is released out through the anus. It is called egestion. Taking out of undigested food in the form of stool is known as digestion. So I told you about ingestion. Ingestion means taking in food. Digestion means breaking down of the large molecules of food into simple molecule of food. Then that simple molecule of food is absorbed by the blood and transport into the site of the kitchen, which is known as cell, and there oxidation takes place. That means burning of food is taken place, and energy is released along with carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide blood again carried to the lungs and it is expelled out, and the energy is utilized for repairing of damaged body parts, synthesis of biomolecules, and undigested part is released out through anal port. This is whole. Now I am going to discuss one more point. The large molecule of food. Large molecule of food are carbohydrate. protein. What do we take in balanced food? We take carbohydrate, protein, fats or lipid, water, minerals, vitamins, etc. So when carbohydrate is grind and mixed thoroughly with different kind of enzymes and acid, it breaks down and form glucose. When protein is breaks down with the help of pancreatic juice, it produces amino acid. When fats is digested, it breaks down to produce simple kind of food which is known as glycerol. Molecules of sugar, carbohydrate like potato, rice, chapatis, all these you are taking, these are all carbohydrate. These are big molecules. Now these molecules the blood cannot absorb and carry to different cell, and inside the cell cannot permit all these big molecules to enter into it. So the carbohydrate with the help of digestion breaks down and produce glucose. The chemical formula of glucose is C6H12O6. This is the simplest form of carbohydrate. So this glucose can be absorbed by blood and carried to the different parts of the body and get entrance into the cell. Protein when breaks down, it produces amino acid, which amino acid can enter into the cell. This is the simplest form of the protein. Fats, that means oil. When oil breaks down, it produces the simplest form of it, glycerol. Glycerol is also the simplest form of food of produced from fats and enter into the cell for oxidation. Oxidation means burning of food with the help of oxygen that we respire in. Reparing is important, synthesis of biomolecules is important, and roughage. So we should eat fiber containing food also, so that undigested part can be removed smoothly. So it is called removal of undigested food is called egestion, taking out of undigested food in the form of stool. It is called egestion. So I have discussed these things in case of human being, in case of animals. Now in plants also it takes place. So the materials required by the living organism to sustain their life are called nutrients and include oxygen, food and water. So what does nutrients means? The materials required by the living organism to sustain their life are called nutrients. In the next line, you have told about the definition of nutrients. We are reading about nutrition. Try to understand. I am not going to write it down again. To sustain our life, we need some materials continuously in our body. That materials are nothing but oxygen, food and water, without which no living being can survive in this world. These materials are called nutrients. A specialist associated with the needs and problems of nutrition is called dietitian or dietist. The doctor who give us the advice what kind of food and what amount of food in each time we should consume is known as dietist. All living organisms need energy to perform various life processes. This energy is produced from the food that they eat. I am repeating the sentence. All living organisms need energy to perform various life processes. This energy is produced from the food that they eat. Now, you must understand the word life processes. Some activities go on continuously in all living beings to stay them alive. These metabolic activities are called life processes. Even when you go sleep or you do nothing, that time also that activities go on in the body. Like, for example, breathing, taking in and out of oxygen and carbon dioxide, breathing, respiration, that means respiration, circulation, pumping of blood by heart. While you go sleep also, that time also the heartbeat goes on continuously. When you do nothing, that time also the heart goes on pumping the blood continuously. So this is circulation, respiration, then digestion, etc. These are the process, these are the activities go on continuously in the body. These processes, these activities are called life processes. Different components of food. During digestion, the food eaten is broken down into pieces and soluble molecules by action of enzyme on them. Now, you are getting one new term, that is enzyme. What is enzyme? The chemical or biochemical substances which enhances or retards a chemical reaction is called enzyme. You often heard about when you attend a party or dinner, if you have eaten, if you have overeaten, then you feel uncomfort. That time your mommy or papa or the doctor advise you to take an enzyme to digest the food immediately. So that means enzyme means it is the chemical substance which make a chemical reaction quicker or reduce the speed of the chemical reaction. So in our body, different kind of, in plant's body also, different kind of enzymes are secreted to take part in the digestion. During digestion, the food eaten is broken down into pieces and soluble molecules by action of enzyme on them. That means these enzymes are released by body parts, different body parts, and they act on the food, and the food molecules are broken down into small pieces which are soluble in water and can absorb by the blood. These molecules are then absorbed by the body cells. The basic components of food for all plants and animals are the same. These components are carbohydrate, protein, fat, vitamins and minerals. Plants can produce vitamins and other growth regulators within their body, but animals cannot. Now we are going to read about mode of nutrition. Modes of nutrition. One is Holozoic nutrition. And the other is number 2, Holophytic Nutrition. So, what is Holozoic nutrition or what is Holophytic nutrition? Holophytic mode of nutrition. Number 2 we are going to read at first. The mode of nutrition in plants is known as holophytic type of nutrition. The nutritions that take place in plants is called holophytic nutrition. Plants prepare all components of their food from inorganic substances within their body itself. Plants prepare all components of their food from inorganic substances within their body itself. The plants absorb water and minerals from the soil by the roots, carry through the stem, reach the leaf. These are water broken down into their atoms, and the sunlight is trapped by the chlorophyll, and there are pores in the leaf surface. These are called stomata. Through the stomata, from the air, the plant absorb the carbon dioxide. These are carbon dioxide and water. These are carbon dioxide and water. All these are inorganic substances. These are inorganic substance. From this inorganic substance, with the help of sunlight and chlorophyll, the plants prepare their food called glucose, which is organic. This is organic compound. From inorganic compound, the plants with the help of sunlight and chlorophyll prepare organic compound whose name is glucose. Holophytic nutrition takes place in green plants. Holozoic mode of nutrition. Number 1. Holozoic mode of nutrition. In case of most animal and in human beings, the mode of nutrition is of Holozoic type. In case of animals, the digestion takes place is called Holozoic type of nutrition. The Holozoic nutrition involves ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and negation. Holozoic animals have a fully developed alimentary canal which performs the above stated functions as I discussed already. From the mouth to the anal pore, the whole thing is called alimentary canal. All the processes through which food is obtained and used are collectively termed as nutrition. So, you write down the definition of nutrition. And it is very much important to understand also what is called nutrition. All the process through which food is obtained and used are collectively termed as nutrition. So, do you have understood? From the taking in food through mouth up to egestion and the digested food again absorbed by the blood and burnt with the help of oxygen, which I already discussed. It is called oxidation. And as a result of oxidation, the energy is released. The energy is utilized by different body parts to perform different works. This whole process is known as nutrition. Now, I am going to discuss about what are the different kind of nutrition are here. Nutrition are of two kinds. Autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. Nutrition are of two kinds. Number 1, autotrophic nutrition. Trophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. Number 2, heterotrophic nutrition. So these are the two kind of nutrition. At first we have to study. Green plants can produce their food by themselves, whereas animals depend upon plants and other animals for their food. There are two types of nutrition: autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. I already told that nutrition are of two kinds. They are autotrophic nutrition and there is another Heterotrophic nutrition. The green plants can prepare their food by themselves, and this is called autotrophic nutrition, and green plants therefore called autotroph. And all the animals, including human beings, cannot prepare their food by themselves in their body. They collect the food from outside in the form of plants or different parts of plants or different form of animal products like milk, like flesh, like meat, egg. These are vegetables, fruits, all these are collected from plants or other animals. So these kinds of nutrition is called heterotrophic nutrition. Autotrophic nutrition or photosynthesis in plant is the mode of nutrition in which organisms make their food themselves from simple substances is called autotrophic form of nutrition. You can write it down from your book. What is autotrophic nutrition? The mode of nutrition in which organisms make their own food themselves from simple substances is called autotrophic form of nutrition. Due to ability of making their own food themselves, green plants are known as autotrophs. T-R-O-P-H-S. Autotrophs. Which are autotrophs? All the green plants are called autotrophs. Green plants are called autotrophs. Why? Because all green plants can prepare their own food by themselves. So they are called autotrophs, and this kind of nutrition is called autotrophic nutrition. Green plants convert the simple substances carbon dioxide and water into food in the presence of sunlight by photosynthesis. So, photosynthesis is the process of manufacturing food by the green plants in the presence of sunlight. Photo means light and synthesis means of combine or form. The process of photosynthesis occurs in leaves contact by the chlorophyll. Water and minerals present in the soil are absorbed by the roots and transported to the leaves. Carbon dioxide from air is taken through the tiny pores present on the surface of the leaves called stomata. During this process on the earth, the solar energy is captured by the leaves and stored in the plant in the form of food. The sun is the ultimate source of energy for all living organisms. So, you read repeatedly this part, I think you will understand. If you cannot, I will explain you on another day. In nutrition, some factor affect. Some factors affect in nutrition. So, what are the factors? So, number one is carbon dioxide and water. Carbon dioxide, CO2 and water. Water is H2O. Low concentration of carbon dioxide and water lowers the rate of photosynthesis. Now, what is the reaction of photosynthesis? CO2 plus H2O in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll C6H12O6 and 6 molecules of oxygen. So, if the amount of carbon dioxide or water is reduced, the production of glucose will be reduced. So, this is a factors that nutrition depend upon carbon dioxide and water, availability of carbon dioxide and water. Now, number 2 is light. You know that the chlorophyll trap the sunlight and convert it into energy. As the intensity of light increases, the rate of photosynthesis also increases linearly, but at higher light intensity, the rate of photosynthesis becomes limiting. As the intensity of light increases, the rate of photosynthesis also increases linearly. But at higher light intensity, the rate of photosynthesis become limiting. So from the morning till 11 a.m. or like this, the intensity of the light increases. That time photosynthesis occurs rapidly, but when the sunlight is very strong, that time the intensity of the light intensity is very higher. That time again the photosynthesis reduces its rate of photosynthesis reduces. Rate of photosynthesis reduces when there is very high intensity of light. But during the morning time, as the intensity of the light increases, the rate of photosynthesis also increases. So, light is another factor effects on nutrition. Number 3, temperature. The temperature does not affect the light reaction or photosynthesis, but affects the dark reaction markedly. The effect of temperature on photosynthesis vary from plant to plant. That means the effects of temperature on photosynthesis differs from plant to plant. Here you have got one new term is dark reaction. There are two reactions takes place in photosynthesis. Suppose this is the photosynthesis. One is called dark reaction, the other is called light reaction. In class 10 you will get in details about light reaction and dark reaction, but here only the term is used to give you a rough idea. So, light reaction takes place during daytime and dark reaction takes place during night. So, remember only this much. Number 4, other factors. Besides these factors, chlorophyll level in the leaf, internal structure of the leaf and age of the leaf also affect photosynthesis. So on other factors, we can give some subheading which effect on nutrition are amount of chlorophyll present on the leaf surface. Number B, internal structure of the internal structure of the leaf. Number C, edge of the leaf. Edge of the leaf. These are the factors affect on nutrition in plant. Now turn over the page. Heterotrophic nutrition in plants. Most plants on the earth are green plants, but there are a group of plants which do not contain chlorophyll, neither in their leaves nor in any other parts. Such plants called non-green plants. So, non-green plants are unable to manufacture their own food because they do not contain any chlorophyll in them. Then there are some plants which can manufacture their own food, but the soil in which they grow do not have all the nutrients. So, how do these plants obtain their food or the other nutrients they need? Such plants depend on green plants or on other living bodies. This mode of nutrition is called heterotrophic nutrition, and such plants are called heterotrophs. Hetero means other and troph means nutrition. Heterotrophs are organisms that cannot manufacture their own food and have to depend on other plants or animals to obtain energy. So, write down the definition of heterotrophs. I am not going to write down. It will time consuming. So, underline on your book heterotrophs, page number 6. Heterotrophs are organisms that cannot prepare their own food and have to depend on other plants or animals to obtain energy. Difference between autotrophic and heterotrophic nutrition. Autotrophic nutrition, the type of nutrition that takes place in green plants is called autotrophic nutrition. The type of nutrition that takes place in non-green plants and animals is called heterotrophic nutrition. Number 2, food is synthesized from raw materials by photosynthesis. Food is obtained from plants and animal sources. Solar energy is required or used. Energy is produced in body. Digestive process is absent. Digestive process is present in heterotrophic nutrition. In autotrophic nutrition, number 5 is it is found in green plants, blue-green algae and autotrophic bacteria. Number 5, under the heading of heterotrophic nutrition, it is found in non-green plants, fungi, bacteria and all animals. According to the mode of nutrition, heterotrophic plants are of the following types. Heterotrophic plants. It has to be discussed. Heterotrophic plants. Number 1, parasitic plant. Number 2, Sacrophytic plant. Number 3, Carnivorous plant. Number 4, symbiotic plant. These are the different kind of heterotrophic plant. Now, go in details. Parasitic plant, living on other organisms and deriving food from that organism is known as parasitic nutrition. The organism deriving food is called a parasite, and the other organism from which the food is derived by the parasite is called the host. The parasite produces special structure called hostoria for absorbing food from the host. Parasites may be total or partial. Duoder or Amarbel cascuta is a total parasite. Mistletoe is a partial parasite. This plant has green leaves and can synthesize its own food, but it receives water and minerals from the host plant on which it grows. Now, parasitic plants means parasitic plants, they derive their food from other plants or other animals' body. They do not prepare their food by themselves. So, they are of two kinds again. Number A, total parasite, and partial parasite. In total parasite, all the food, nutrients, vitamins, water, the parasitic plant absorbs from its host. Host plant means on which it grows, from which it collects the food. And partial parasites are the green plants. They prepare their food by themselves, but they collect vitamins or minerals or water from other plants. The examples are given, so write it down and remember them. Now I am coming to the next point, saprophytic plant. Feeding on dead and decaying organic matter is known as saprophytic nutrition. These plants do not possess green pigment. For example, mushrooms, yeast, many bacteria, saprophytes are commonly seen during and after rains. So, the plants which collects their food from decaying or dead bodies. The plants which collects their food from decaying or dead bodies, that means the plants which lives on dead bodies or decaying materials, called saprophytic plant. Symbiotic plant, number 4. Carnivorous plants on number 3. Is it discussed here or not? Yes, on the last point it is discussed. These are also carnivorous plants. Carnivorous means those who eat flesh, those who live on flesh or meat. So, these are also called insectivorous plant. Insectivorous plant. They live on insect. They kill the insect in them, and the dead insect they use as their food. Feeding on small insect is known as insectivorous plant. Example, pitcher plant, Venus flytrap, sundew plant, and bladderwort. These are all the example of insectivorous plant or carnivorous plants. Now I am coming to the next point, symbiotic plant. The method of nutrition in which the two different organisms live together and both benefit from each other is called symbiotic nutrition. Here they share their two organisms, one organism, number 2 organism. two organisms live together and they share their food between them. So both of them collects the benefit from each other. This kind of nutrition is called symbiotic nutrition in plant. For example, LICHEN, lichen. Some very important terminology are given in your book: nutrition, autotrophs, heterotrophs, parasitic, symbiotic, saprophytic, insectivorous. This term you can read from this page. So for today, this is enough. Next day, we'll take another lesson. Okay, thank you.
아빠, 살짝 올라.